There's more! Finally, we queer up the big interview. National LGBTQ Task Force Executive Director Keira Johnson discusses why America is red, white, and you. This weekend, I anchored with Francia and Kitty Meow a special remote edition of Queer News Tonight. The special broadcast was in the middle of the National LGBTQ Task Force Gala, and stories included the importance of November 8th midterm elections, the special honorees, charities that are benefited, and covering major 2023 events, including the Creating Change Conference in San Francisco in February and a Winter Party Festival in March. A special highlight was interviews with MSNBC Live with Katie Phang and National Leadership Award winner, Washington Post and MSNBC anchor Jonathan Capehart. But perhaps the best moment was Ferguson's interview with the National Task Force Executive Director Keira Johnson. They talk about the moments we are experiencing in both Florida and the fight for democracy in America. She talked about minority representation, the culture war that is going on, and what's next for the LGBTQ plus community.
Well, our next guest here at Queer News Tonight absolutely needs no introduction. We, as you know, are doing a special remote broadcast of Queer News Tonight at the Miami Beach Convention Center for the National LGBTQ Task Force 2022 Gala. And of course, sitting next to me is the person that's really responsible for virtually all of it. And she's going to say, you're responsible for all of it. Every success is yours. Keira Johnson, the executive director. Thank you for sitting down with us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
It must seem so strange to you to be in this intersection of where we're at. Such an amazing night that we're going to experience here at the task force. And at the same time, so many difficult things that we're watching here in Florida and all over the country. Tell me about those two different feelings, the love and the joy, and then the hate and the despair.
Yeah, in some ways it feels like, having whiplash, but for our community, it's not new, right? We've experienced hard times before. And one of the things the LGBTQ community always does is celebrate self, right? Celebrate community, come together and take care of each other. And so in a lot of ways, this event and the events that we do honor that, right? We bring each other together to show each other love and affirmation and to remind each other that we are resilient because we have other fights ahead. We've got more work to do. And events like this, these are the things that fortify us for the long haul.
Yeah, and tonight here at the National Gala, what's the single pinnacle moment you're going, there it is, I see, this is it. Are you anything in particular you're looking forward to, or?
Young people have always been at the forefront of movements, from abolition, civil rights, women's lib, and right now. And I am so excited to see the energy and the commitment and the power of young people right now. And I'm excited that we're going to be honoring X Gonzalez tonight,
awesome.
Who is an amazing, brilliant,
represents
powerful,
in an incredible way
young queer person. Yeah. And they're fighting at an intersectional, at the intersection of multiple issues, which is what the task force's work is all about.
Yeah. We were counting up. We're doing a joke. We're running into the last days of November 8th.
Yeah.
The gay community. It reminds me of Gone with the Wind in Atlanta. Those last days of, well, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? The gay community, LGBTQ community. Honestly, I can feel the tension of what's going on in our community. You have an opportunity to spread some optimism. What would you say about the lead up to November 8th?
You know what? The queer community is growing in number and we're growing in power. Mm-hmm. And that is a hopeful place to remind ourselves about. More and more young people are coming out as lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, and queer. Now is the time for us to start engaging them in political activism and remind ourselves that we're not just powerful as individuals, but collectively we can leverage our community power to create real change in our cities and our states and nationally.
Mm-hmm. You know, one other interesting thing, we're gonna tonight, as we broadcast, when we go on the air for Queer News Tonight, we're going to do many stories about the task force mission, why they do this national dinner, and major products and programs like a winter party, creating change. I'm very excited about, and tell you the mission of the National Task Force and why. Their theme tonight, Red, White, and You, is really an absolute bullseye of the need for you in our LGBTQ community. So I know your time is super precious as we get ready for this, but the last thing I want to ask you about gives me an opportunity. The new executive director for the HRC has been selected. You and Myra sit in your positions at the National Task Force. The executive directorate, GLAD. Our major national organizations are led by queer women. How exciting is that for you to be in that very exclusive club?
It completely is just unbelievable and so exciting. And it is powerful to see so many women and so many people of color coming into leadership of national and state-based organizations across the country.
Yeah. And it's exciting for me to watch. I discussed this. It's been almost a year where we had this conversation, and it's exciting for me to watch that women's prominence in our community is growing. But women of color are growing so much, and it fights exactly this older white male gay stereotype of going, we need some fresh voice in terms of what's going to be next, because we're facing unprecedented challenges, and now we're going to turn the reins over to the women and say, lead us, right?
You know what? It takes a village. And, you know, the way I see this is it's not so much a passing of the baton, but we're reaching out and connecting hands in real ways that can really create impact. When I look at organizations like Glisten and Family Equality, the number of transgender organizations that have emerged over the last decade, also many of the national ones are led by women and trans people of color. This isn't about taking the reins. It's about having more horses, right, in the fight. And that's really exciting.
Yeah, exactly why you're the executive director, because you said it so much better than I did. So congratulations to you, the entire National LGBTQ Task Force. You're getting ready. We're going to show you every detail of this incredible event. And it's all designed to lead us to November 8th. Get out and vote.
Get out and vote.
That's right. Kiera Johnson, Executive Director of the National LGBTQ Task Force. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out television network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus community.